so much for coming tonight. It really means a lot to me to be part of your day and just part of maybe an overall, hopefully an overall mental health strategy, because that's really what I'm all about, is just giving you tools for real life and how you can feel better from the inside out and rely less and less on external things. I mean, yoga is somewhat external, but it's really teaching us to come inward and ignore the outside world, ignore societal pressures, ignore what's going on. That's not necessarily ignore, but consciously choose to take in the information that you find nourishing and leave the rest, right? Okay, as you're coming on, let me know your name if I don't know you, especially, and where you're coming from. So if we've never met in person, I would just love to know a little bit more about you. So it's 8 o'clock. Let's get started. Thanks for joining me. So we're going to weave in every week. I like to weave in a little bit of, strategy, a little bit of tools so that you can actually take something off of your mat back into your daily life. Yes, it's great to come to our mats, but if we don't really learn anything to take away, then yoga kind of loses its power. The power is to take these skills and these strategies and over time they become and practice so regularly that they become part of our intrinsic psyche, that we know what it feels like to breathe deeply, that our bodies just start to do it automatically when we're in a stressful situation, or we start to become more proactive because of our meditation practice and make less mistakes because of our meditation practice. So all these little tidbits of information weave together. Now, yoga is not called yoga perfect, it's called yoga practice. So of course, this is a lifelong journey. So we're not to expect perfection or anything close to it, but it's allowing us the opportunity to get to know ourselves on a more soulful level. So what I've got planned for us today is I'm going to chat a little bit about meditation first. We're going to ease into a gentle practice. That's where we're going to be using some of our props. And then the gentle practice is really the kind of the gateway to meditation. If you've ever tried meditation and you try to sit down and your mind is still going like a million miles an hour, it's not going to work. So what we do is I would recommend to you that you start with movement first. And it's a very easy way to anchor your mind by breathing, moving, connecting the breath with the movement, and then settling into meditation. You're going to have a much higher so-called success rate if we do a little bit of moving and breathing first. So our practice on our mat is going to be some gentle movements and then some longer held stretches. And then we're going to transition into meditation at the very end and give us an opportunity to practice the so-called techniques that I'm going to talk about at the beginning here. So don't worry. If you want to take notes, great. Just know that your meditation practice is going to evolve over time, and it's going to come with ebbs and flows, just like life. And just like Chanel was saying, she gets on a kick of meditation and then falls off the wagon. It's very common. So we're going to embrace all of that, knowing that there's really no perfect way. We just have to kind of, day to day, just this daily check-in with ourselves and where we're at. So I've got a couple key meditation strategies just to ensure that we're really setting you up for success. So the first one is setting your body up for comfort. Now, give me a wave. Well, first of all, give me a wave if you've tried meditation before. Just give me a big wave or a nod. If you don't mind having your camera turned on, it's nice to see real faces. Give me a wave if you tried meditation before. Anyone, give me a thumbs up if it's gone well, or thumbs down if it's like, oh, I don't think it's for me. It didn't really work. Any kind of that reaction. Yeah. Okay, I hear you. Good. Okay, so the first thing is getting yourself truly comfortable. Now, we see a lot of stuff splashed all over the media, whether it's on Instagram or yoga journal cover. And because of images that we see on social media, I find that people really get caught up in what yoga or what they think meditation should look like. So you can imagine, if you think of meditation, the very first image that comes to mind is maybe like a monk or a beautiful woman who's super supremely flexible sitting on a mountaintop in like this Zen kind of paradise with this Zen stature and look on their face. And in like this lotus pose, which is like a contortion of your legs that I could probably never ever do in my lifetime. So when we have images like that housed in our minds, it really puts up the first block where we start to think, I can't possibly do that because I don't look like that. So what we're going to do is we're just going to sweep all of those preconceived notions out the door. We're getting rid of them and really starting to embrace the notion of meditation being a practice that is 100% customized to you. Okay, so what you see may not ever work for you. Lotus position for me will never work for me. It'll probably never work for you because of knees and hips, okay? So we're going to find true comfort, and this may take some time to play around with your body. So number one is get yourself comfortable. I'll show you just very briefly 3 different ways to position your body. The first way is just to lie down or sit in a chair. This is like the easiest possible position, and it is still meditation. Don't let your mind try to fake you out of it. It's still meditation, even if you're not sitting up. Now, lying down, there's a greater chance that you'll fall asleep, because whenever we lie down and close our eyes, our bodies are just trained to fall asleep. So just know that might happen, but that's totally fine too. So with 2 seated options, one is, and I always use props, because unless you're super flexible or you do yoga every single day, your hips and back will likely not be able to withstand some of the discomfort. So you can use a bolster. First option is to sit on your bolster or more. So you create a fort underneath of you, so your hips are higher than your knees. So check yourself out. Usually I see a lot of this and trying to like grip and hold on. This will not ever equal relaxation, just FYI. So hips higher than your knees. You might need to stack 2 bolsters or 2 blankets or 3 pillows. The higher you are, the easier it is for your hips and your back. Now for me, my legs fall asleep quite easily in this position. This is option 1. Try it out. Now, sorry, before I move on, I'm just going to back up. Feet in this position are quite, knees are wide and the ankles are somewhat in front of each other. That just allows greater hip opening and less discomfort. So not crossing them like really close, because this is not stable at all in the base. Okay, are we good on that one? Okay, my favorite, and it's just because my feet fall asleep easily and cross-legged, I'm just going to show you the side view. So my block is going to go between my shins, actually more like between my ankles, really, and then I'm going to sit back on the block. This allows my spine to be quite tall, like naturally and more easily upright, where I'm not having to fight against gravity either forward or backwards. So I like to have my sit bones quite far back and wide. And you're going to feel a really wherever you are, you want to feel super stable in your pelvis. Like you're not tipping to one side or forwards or backwards. And this is where I find the greatest ease and can settle in quite instantly here. Okay, so from this, wherever you are, seated or like cross-legged or this, I want to talk about ribcage placement. Now, for years and years and years, I guess maybe it's my dancing background, not like I was a great dancer, but I danced for a really long time. And the dance posture was extremely non-ergonomical. Like it's not good for your body. So it was like stand tall. So you like thrust your rib cage up, forward and up. The collarbones would rise, and you've got such a terrible kink in your back. And that's how I always stood. So it was after like years and years of correction through physiotherapy that I was able to find a more neutral stance. And I want to teach that to you because it's so beneficial. Take your hands beside on the rib cage, and just take, like, if someone says, like, I hear a lot in guided meditations, okay, sit tall and roll your shoulders back. Well, if you notice what's happening with the front of the rib cage, is actually flipping up towards the ceiling, and that's not what we want at all for the spine. So take your hands all around the rib cage and guide the front of your rib cage down and feel the back of your rib cage fanning out. If you can imagine, the bottom rim of your rib cage is generally parallel to the floor. This corrects so much bad posture, which will equal pain in meditation. So try that again. Lift and thrust rib cage up this is totally wrong, and you already feel how bad it feels. But and so countering that, guide the front of the rib cage down and bring your hands to rest on your thighs. This might feel like you're slouching, but I want you to feel and visualize the bowl of the rib cage, the bottom ring, is parallel to the floor. The front of the rib cage is not thrust forward and up. And I have heard from so many people that this has corrected such pain and discomfort in their back, including for myself. The shoulders are just relaxed. They're not pulled back and down. They might even be hunching forward. Okay, so getting yourself comfortable. The second thing is using your breath to anchor your minds. Okay, second thing is using your breath. And the third thing is just finding a way that suits your level and where you're at right now and becoming consistent with it. It's just like brushing your teeth. You wouldn't brush your teeth once for 1 hour in like a month's period of time. Okay, that's not going to work. Okay, so think about little bits of time more consistently. So what can you fit in? So type into the chat bar, what do you think you could fit in pretty much every day? 5 minutes, 2 minutes, 10 minutes. And as we're thinking about, scheduling in consistent time for this soulful ritual, think about how much time we spend on things and activities that have no inner focus. So I'm just going to call it out, and I'm guilty of them too. How much time you spend scrolling on Facebook? You spend time getting ready every day. I know I do. I put on my makeup. I try to do my hair so it doesn't look like I just got out of bed most days. Time spent just watching TV. So you can imagine 5 minutes a day dedicated to clearing out the cobwebs in your minds. We would never think to not brush our teeth, but yet we take little care of our mental state of being. Anxiety builds up, a lot of stress, a lot of resistance that could be easily recalibrated with meditation. Okay, so I see 20 minutes, 5 minutes, 10 to 15. Absolutely. And I feel that for most people, most women I talk to, it really comes down to being a better manager of our time. And I know I'm very guilty of it. I'll spend 20 minutes scrolling on Facebook and feel my anxiety shooting through the roof and then wonder why I can't get a hold of the gripping anxiety feeling that I have in my chest. Well, for me, I could just shut off Facebook and spend that time devoted to quieting my mind. Now, the last thing to know about meditation is that, well, kind of twofold for this last part. People think that meditation means completely clearing their mind, and there's nothing further, that is nothing further from the truth. It is not about clearing your mind at all, because guess what? It is not attainable. It is a completely unrealistic goal to completely clear our minds. So if we can just get rid of that expectation right off the bat, we will open up the pathway to embrace the imperfection that meditation will be for us over the course of our lifetime. Meditation will be, here's something that really helped me in the beginning. Meditation will be exactly what you need to go through that day. Hey, Crystal. Hey, Sandy. So one day you might sit down and your feet fall asleep. Okay, so what? You did it and you're going to move on. The next day you sit down and your brain falls asleep. Well, that's okay. You just go through it. So every time you sit for meditation, you will go through exactly what you have to go through. I often compare it to running. I am not a runner. Give me a wave. Are you a runner out there? I really admire you because I'm definitely not a runner. I'm a walker. Whatever kind of exercise. So imagine that you wanted to run and you're like, yes, I'm going to sign up. I've signed up for a half marathon or a 10K or whatever. You would never, ever expect to show up on the start line and just run a 10K in brand new shoes. No one would ever do that, right? So there's an expectation that you would actually train and get yourself prepared. But when we talk about meditation, you just think that you have to be perfect right off the bat. And then when you're not perfect, you give it up. And when it doesn't work and your feet fall asleep or your brain falls asleep or you cry or you whatever, you just give it up and say, well, that didn't work for me. Well, guess what? It's not true. It is working for you. You just have to put in the grunt work. It's not going to be easy, but it is the best thing truly the best thing that will help you conquer your mind, the anxiety, the stress, the depression, the overwhelm, the fear. None of that. And I'm not talking medically here. Like if you're on medication, please, like that is a part of this whole wholesome system that we're talking about. I'm not saying like don't do that, but it is a part of taking true care of our mental health. So whatever you go through, you got to go through. If you get blisters running, you get blisters, and you're going to figure it out, and you're going to get outside again and run again if you're dedicated to it. Okay. So coming back, you're not going to have a crystal clear mind. The first time, the second time, the third time, the 10th time, you might find 1,000 thoughts coming into your mind. Has anyone witnessed that before? Like you sit down and you're like gung-ho and you're excited and you're like, yes, I am going to do this because it's supposed to be so good for me. And then you sit and you are just bombarded by thoughts, and you get mad, you get frustrated, and then back to mad, and you give up. Well, your brain, think about how many years your brain has been trained in this direction of anxiety and whatever, like all the thoughts in your mind. It's going to take a little bit of unraveling and guiding in the opposite direction of love, relaxation, and training your nervous system to become more grounded. This is training your brain. So it will not be easy at times, but almost instantly people can feel a sense of relief where it just makes you come back, and you'll get to a point where you will crave it. I'm not saying it's going to be perfect forever. You will drop off, you will come back to it, you'll drop off of it, come back, but you'll find that your body and mind start to gravitate so much to it because you know now how good you can feel. So I have so much more to talk about. I'm thinking about offering a 7-day free meditation mini course. So if you're interested, let me know in the chat bar or after or whenever, because I feel like it's something that people need. We all need so much right now, because it's an opportunity to really grab on to soulful practices that will light the path literally for the rest of your life. Tonight in our practice on our mats, we're going to be working with a very intentional breath technique, and it's just a counted breath. So while we're in some longer held poses or flowing more smooth or like more slowly, I'm going to be cueing you, not every breath, but some of the breaths, I'm going to be cueing you a 4-count inhalation, or 3 or 4 counts, whatever you can manage for an inhale, and then an exhale that is 1 count longer. So if you're breathing 4 on the inhale, you will exhale 5. And this is really going to help our nervous system to turn and start to embrace the rest and digest part of the nervous system that is so crucial for healing and repairing. This month for April in the Full Circle membership group, we have 2 10-minute practices, a soothing one and a flow class that incorporate this breath technique, because our theme this month is pause for peace. And so we're going to utilize that breath technique in those videos that you have unlimited access to. Okay. So with that being said, please type in any questions that you have. We're going to come right onto our mats and get started with the physical side. So if you do have a block, let's just keep that available so you can grab onto it at any time. So come to hands and knees and just thank yourself, like literally thank yourself for being here. The whole world is not here, so you have made the conscious effort to be here for yourself tonight. Hands and knees. Spread your fingers wide. We're going to inhale into cow, looking up, chest reaching forward. Exhale into cat, push the floor away. Inhale, so close your eyes if that's comfortable for you. Inhale, sway the back, and exhale, round the back. Push the floor away, chin towards your chest. Let's do that a couple more times at your own pace. Starting to lengthen both the inhale and the exhale. Beginning to feel that stretch through the entire spine. And just making a little bit of a promise to yourself tonight to move in a way that truly supports exactly where you're at tonight. Let your neck be gentle and soft the whole class through. We're going to change this up just a little bit. So inhale, come forward to cow. Exhale, back into child's pose. Uncurl your toes and stretch your arms out in front and bring your head toward the ground, if not touching the ground. Fingers spread. Inhale, come forward to cow. Spread the collarbones. And exhale all the way into child's pose. We're going to add our breath technique. So come forward into cow. Inhale, 2, 3, 4. Exhale into child's pose. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Again, inhale, come forward. 2, 3, 4. Expand the ribcage lungs. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Stay in child's pose. You can take your knees a little bit wider. You're welcome to pillow your hands under your forehead or even come up onto your elbows. Closing your eyes and releasing your jaw. Inhale into your back. Inhale, 2, 3, 4. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. One more time. Inhale, 2, 3, 4. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Let's come all the way back up to hands and knees. Now the toes are together, but the knees are nice and wide for a twist flow. We're going to lead with the right arm. So we're going to lift the right arm to the right side, look up. We're going to thread the right arm through towards the left, bringing our right temple to the ground. All right, let's flow here a couple more times. Big deep breath in, rotate the torso to the right, and deep breath out. Just thread through as far as you can. Let's go ahead with that breath. Inhale, 2, 3, 4. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. One more time. Inhale, 2, 3, 4. Expand. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Let's stay here. You can take your left hand as a kickstand somewhere in front of you or kind of above your head. Draw your chin slightly closer to your chest, just very gently. Close your eyes and breathe into your back. Release your jaw. There should be a space enough to slide a piece of paper between the top and bottom set of your teeth. Let's come all the way up on your next inhale. Push down through that left arm. Inhale, right arm up to the right side to the ceiling. And exhale, replace it onto the floor. Left side, inhale, left arm travels up. And exhale it all the way through. Just bring that temple down if it can reach the ground. Again, inhale. And slow down that exhale. Here we go with that counted breath. Inhale, 2, 3, 4. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Inhale, 2, 3, 4. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. So stay, use that right hand as a kickstand. Draw your chin just very gently towards your chest and breathe into your back. Relax your jaw, your forehead, and your eyes. On your next inhalation, let's push up with that right hand. The left arm travels overhead, and then bring that hand down. We're going to bring the knees together and curl the toes under. So sit back on your feet, and if this is not going to work, sit on your bum, okay? So what we're going to do is we're just going to do a side bend. Inhale, arms up. Let's head to the right side. Right hand down and stretch over to that right side. Inhale and exhale. Inhale and exhale. So you should feel a stretch in your toes. It's a great stretch that will reverberate all the way up your spine. Exhale. Now we're going to sit tall. Again, do this from your bum or from your knees. I'm going to show you behind. So what we're going to do is we're going to take our hands behind us and grab onto either the wrists, the forearms, or the elbows for a chest stretch. Wherever you are, draw the front of the rib cage down, chin towards the floor, and just close your eyes and breathe into your chest and shoulders. If you don't feel much happening, just gently press your forearms into your low back and try to lift your elbows towards the wall behind you. Release the jaw. And release your arms all the way down. Come up onto your knees. If this does not work for your knees, you can do this from a seated position with one leg out with your right leg out to the right side like this, okay? If that's okay for your knees, come on up. We're going to do gate pose. We're going to take the right leg and shoot it out to the right side. Toes are facing straight forward. Inhale the arms all the way up. The side bend to the right. Exhale. Inhale. And side bend to the left. Inhale. And exhale. One more time to the left. And exhale. Inhale all the way up. Now we're going to fold forward for more of a hip stretch. So come and place your hands on the floor and just adjust as you need to. You might feel that the knee under you needs to go wider. Just pretend like you're sitting your bum like way back. So lift your bum up and then back. And if you need a slight bend in that right knee, go ahead and have a slight bend. Okay, so you're going to feel it along the inner right groin, inner thigh. And we're just slowly going to walk our hands in, put them on your front thigh, and come all the way back up. We're going to turn to face the right. Okay, so swing that back leg behind you and come into a hamstring stretch. The front knee is going to be really bent, so you don't need a straight leg here. What we're going to do, though, is going to pull the front toes towards our nose and scoop our chest forward with a really bent knee. So inhale, 2, 3, 4. Exhale, release, 2, 3, 4, 5. Inhale, 2, 3, 4. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, and 5. We're going to come into a lunge. So push that front right foot down and bring your hips forward and down, and chest rises. Inhale, 2, 3, 4. Exhale, 2, 3, 4. Come all the way up by pressing your front hand on your front knee. Come up, pad your back knee if you need to. We're going to circle the arms as we reach forward. So inhale, reach up, bend your elbows, and exhale, hands behind. Do that again. Inhale, and exhale, wide elbows and forearms. Inhale, up, and exhale. One more time, and we'll transition into a stretch. Inhale. Now you're going to take your right forearm, place it on your right thigh, and then let's tilt over to the right side. So tilt the direction of that front knee, and you're going to feel a really deep stretch along the front of your left hip flexor. Inhale, 2, 3, 4. Relax your shoulders. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Inhale. That arm comes up, and exhale the hands all the way down. So we're going to lift that back knee, and we're going to walk into a wide-legged forward fold. So swivel your toes inward, and you take the stance that feels good for you. So it might be a little bit of a narrower stance or wide, what feels good for your hips and your knees. Plant one hand down, and the other arm swivels up as you rotate the torso towards that side. Inhale. And exhale, that hand comes all the way down as you release your neck. Inhale, other side. And exhale. So let's continue to flow a couple more times. Micro bend in your knee. Inhale. Hips sway to the same side the arm is going up. And exhale. Okay, a couple more times at your own pace. If the breath counting is really helping your mind, you can do a couple on your own. So you feel this in your inner thighs, but more so we're really looking to get this massage-like action into the lower back
and the hips can be really great release for the low back. Okay, when your hand comes down, let's heel toe the feet all the way together, and let's come back down onto our knees. And we're going to do the gate pose to the other direction. So from your knees, let's kick the left leg out to the side, toes facing straight forward. Inhale, arms up, and let's side bend the direction of our leg. Exhale. Inhale up, relax your shoulders. Deep exhale to the other side as you anchor that foot. Inhale and exhale. Inhale and exhale. Inhale, come up. We're going to shoot the arms forward and lift your glutes up and push them back behind you as your hands kind of configure your arms wherever they feel most supportive. And just feel that stretch along the inner left leg. Let your jaw go, let your eyes release. We're going to walk the hands back in and come to that hamstring stretch. So swivel everything, hips, shoulders, back leg slides back behind you. And the front toes come towards our nose, and as you have a really bent front knee. Scoop the chest forward, relax your head. Inhale, 2, 3, 4. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Inhale, 2, 3, 4. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Come into the lunge, so the front foot goes flat, the hips come forward and down, and you start to scoop the chest up and forward and up. Inhale, 2, 3, 4. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. We're going to come up by placing our front hand on our front thigh. Come all the way up, pad your back knee if you want to, and let's flow with the upper body. So inhale, scoop the arms up, forward and up, and exhale, bend elbows back, down, and around. Inhale and exhale. Definitely a balance challenge. If you're feeling wobbly, that's totally normal. Inhale, exhale. Go nice and slow. Deepen your inhalation and lengthen your exhalation. We're going to come all the way up. We're going to place that front, the left arm in that left hip crease, and we're going to tilt to the other side. So tilt towards the side of your front knee, and you're going to feel that stretch all along that front hip flexor. Deep breaths. And the front arm, where the right arm comes, or the left arm comes all the way up, and release all the way down. We're going to come back to hands and knees. Just keep facing whichever direction you're facing. So we're going to set up for 2 longer held stretches. The first is a supported child's pose. So you're going to grab onto your bolster, and you might just grab your blanket to have it available too. So if you have really tight hips and knees, I'm going to show you 2 different options for this. If you have really tight hips, you're going to want to put the bolster or blanket or like a pillow under your knees, and the soles of your feet are together in butterfly. Knees are supported, and you're just going to lay all the way back down on the floor. So you're flat on the floor. The other version, if you're a little bit more open in the hips, is putting that bolster running lengthwise behind you, or a rolled blanket, and laying down this way. It just means you have no support under your knees, which may be okay if you are a little bit more open in your hips. So just find a way that's going to just allow you to become very calm and relaxed. You may feel a stretch, but I don't want it to be more than about 40% intensity. And this will really allow the nervous system to shift into rest and rejuvenation. Now, wherever you are, we're going to add the arms, and the arms are going to be in a goal pose or V or straight out in a T shape. Find what feels good, but you're going to feel just a very nice, gentle stretch through the armpits, shoulders, and chest. So really opening up the tight spots in the front side of the body, hips, chest, especially chest being tight, can really wreak havoc on the neck and shoulders. So closing your eyes, inhale, 2, 3, 4. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Inhale, 2, 3, 4. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Continue at your own pace for about another minute or so. And whenever your mind becomes distracted, just know that that's to be expected. But just see if you can gently guide your mind back to thinking about your breathing. If your arms get numb or tingly, just bring them down by your sides. Finish your next cycle of breath with a full deep exhalation. Once that's happened, just grab one knee and glide it over to the other knee and roll off your bolster. If you have something underneath of you, just put it off to the side and return to your back. So there's nothing underneath of you now. Step your feet as wide as your mat, hands just down by your sides. We're going to inhale and then windshield wipe the knees over to one side. Exhale. Inhale through center and exhale to the other side. A few more times at your own pace, looking the opposite direction of your knees. So look away from your knees. Just a gentle stretch in your neck. Continue a few more times. This is another great one for a low back and hip release. Okay, so just roll to one side. Just come up nice and slow. And we're going to do one more long held stretch, another of my favorites. So come to one end of your mat, and you're going to roll your mat nice and tight as you can, about halfway. That's going to vary depending on how tight your back is and how thick your mat is. But you want to feel a gentle stretch, nothing that takes your breath away. So roll it about halfway. Come to sit in front of it, and you're going to aim your shoulder blade tips to land right in the middle of your roll. So think about like the bra strap area, landing right in the middle of this roll. So go ahead and lay yourself down. Shoulder blade tips on the roll, and the top of the shoulders like rolling off the backside. Keep your feet or knees bent to begin with. And if this is really a stretch for your neck, you can place the blanket under your head. We're going to assume that same goalpost position with the arms. And we're just going to settle in to truly notice how this feels. So make any adjustments that you need. You might need to go a little bit down or a little bit further up. You should feel this really generous lift of the chest. But again, nothing that shortens your breath. You should be able to take a nice full deep breath in and out. So option to stay here keeping the knees bent, or it will likely intensify the stretch if you straighten your legs. You can also try that out. Okay, settling in, we're going to breathe together for the first 2 breaths. Inhale, 2, 3, 4. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Inhale, 2, 3, 4. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Continue at your own pace, just for a little while longer. Again, if your arms get tingly or numb, just bring them down by your sides. Take a last deep breath in and full breath out. If your legs are straight, go ahead and gently bend your knees. Let's roll off of our roll and just come up enough to roll the mat out again and lay back onto the mat. Just this time, hug your knees into your chest and you can rock your knees from side to side. Okay, I encourage you to move very slowly, like the opposite of fast as we come up for meditation. So roll to the side and just come into one of the positions that I chatted about at the very beginning, cross-legged or on your back on a block. And we're going to see if you can get your hips, your hips higher than your knees. And certainly welcome to lay down. Okay, if you have your little blankets, lay it across your lap if you're seated. This is one thing that I do to it kind of acts as a cocoon, like a little energetic cocoon away from the world. I always like to use this little same blanket every time, same place in my house, every time. Okay, we'll do a little check-in. Are the sit bones of your bum, so the bones of your bum, are they level, even, parallel to the ground? And do you feel quite rooted? If not, see what you can do to feel rooted. Because when we feel that rootedness, that groundedness in our legs, from like our hips, waist down, the upper body will have a better chance to stay upright with less discomfort. So that's the first check-in. And then the second check-in is just that rib cage adjustment.
So from the collarbones down, the rib cage softens down towards the hips. You'll feel a fullness in your back. It's a nice fanning out of the rib cage in the back. And you can imagine that that bowl or ring of the rib cage is parallel, like generally parallel to the floor. You can lay your hands palms down for a more grounded expression, or palms up, whatever feels comfortable. So shoulders are just, they're just settled where they settle naturally. We're not going to force them back or down. Even like mine right now feel like they're rolling forward, and it almost feels like I'm slouching forward, but I know this is the best alignment for my back, which equals no discomfort. Now, if this is kind of your first first trial with these particular cues, do not expect tonight to be perfect. Just go with it and embrace whatever comes up, okay? So close your eyes, and the last little cue that I have for you, twofold. The chin is on an angle towards an imaginary baseboard in front of you, and the ridge of your skull, where your skull meets your neck, the ridge that runs from ear to ear in the back of the head, lifts up to the ceiling, the corner where the ceiling and the wall meet behind you. And the head is very relaxed. Go ahead and close your eyes. Take a few deep breaths to settle in. You can even do that counted breath, a few deep breaths at your own pace. And let your breath return to a normal pace. You're going to let your breath become very natural. You're not going to change it any longer, but it just runs very naturally up and down your spine. And I'm going to introduce the So Hum mantra, which is a very grounding mantra that anyone can use. It's easy to fall into the rhythm, and it gives you that immediate sense of being grounded using the statement that translates as I am. So in your mind, you're going to whisper so as you inhale, S-O, and hum, H-U-M, as you exhale. So hum. And you're going to cycle through that rhythm and come back to it when your mind becomes distracted. Continue until I call you back.
to take a few deep breaths. Wake up your body by breathing deeply. Notice, before you open your eyes, notice how you feel right now. And definitely applaud yourself for sitting through a solid 5 minutes silent meditation. Just very gently open your eyes whenever you're ready. You can bring your hands into your heart center and just feeling, I don't know about you, but the last couple of days have been very mentally tough for me. And sometimes it just helps to bring your hands together at the end of your yoga practice to signify those two parts of yourself, the scattered parts coming together to feel grounded, stable, and calm. It definitely helps me. Take a deep breath in and out. Namaste. Thank you so much for coming tonight, everybody. Definitely drop a comment in the chat bar. How did that 5-minute meditation feel for you? Did it feel short? Did you wish it would keep going? Was your body aching? Or were you feeling kind of antsy? Would love to hear how you felt. Yes. So the Full Circle membership has all of your self-care, yoga, meditation, soulful living magazine delivered to your inbox every day, or every month, I should say. Full access to the vault, so you can be doing 20-minute or less yoga classes and meditations anytime during your day. You get unlimited access. So I invite you to take a look. I know you're going to love it. It's going to keep you on track. It's going to keep you gently accountable and giving you all the tools that you need to expand your soulful practice for yourself, which will really shed light into your family and the rest of the world. So thank you so much. If you check the event page, I will have all the Nourish classes, the replays listed for you to use at any time. Thank you so much, everyone. Good night.